So this is the first video of what I'm calling Chapter 3. Chapter 1 was when I thought of the name for this channel and posted nothing. Chapter 2 has been the vlogs and the skits and the songs that I've been doing. And Chapter 3 is going to be longer form videos of projects where I talk about a life lesson. The job for this video is to replace the control arms and the bushings, along with the steering rack in my wagon. I would estimate that this is going to be about a 6-hour job, all told. Broken up over a couple weeks for me, probably. For some reason, BMW used, say that 5 times fast, a lot of very low quality rubber in the early 2000s. I don't know if they still do. I just know the car that I have. So it all wears out. Just rubber gets old and it gets brittle and then it doesn't do its job anymore. My steering rack just absolutely exploded. It has a tube that is supposed to contain the oil and it no longer contains the oil. It now just spits the oil. So this is the steering rack from underneath. And the subframe, which is only on the all-wheel drive models. It is supremely in the way, and all the videos I found about this job were for the 2-wheel drive model, but I was pretty sure I could figure out. Because of this, and since I couldn't drive the car while it was leaking as bad as it was, I decided to break the job up, pull it apart, order parts based on what I found, wait, and then reinstall the new parts. It's not a great plan, but it's the only one I got. So this video is going to be shot in 2 parts for me. This one and that one. I hope the microphone's doing okay. The tie rod end's really like not coming out. That's their favorite thing to do, which when you're driving around is excellent. And when you're trying to take them apart is incredibly frustrating. Right, so here's the control arm, and this is the bushing that's attached to it that's completely worn out. And then this again is the steering rack from the side now. And then the boot that is leaking like crazy. I tried having all of the audio for this video be part of the video, speaking into the camera and the microphones, but enough of it ended up garbled or muted that I figured I would just do a lot of it over voiceover. So for the videos moving forward, I really want to have some sort of thought experiment or lesson that ties in with whatever project I'm doing to form sort of like a satisfying narrative, like a cohesive project, story, lesson all together. And that way, honestly, 6 hours might have been a little optimistic. And that way we can take my videos from good to great. So by this point in the project, I'm chugging along and I have both sides of the suspension out, so it's time to start pulling out the steering rack. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I guess we'll see. Originally, I was going to have the lesson for this video be about working on projects alone versus working... with friends or collaborators, but that ended up getting mixed up with some other thoughts that didn't flow. Is that power? Is that ground? I should disconnect the battery. And I thought I could more clearly organize it through voiceover when I had time. All of those ones, unless they're bigger than a 19, should be okay. I will regret saying this, but this doesn't look too bad. All jokes and sarcasm aside, I was feeling pretty confident at this point. There were only 6 connections to disconnect the whole steering rack, and I figured I'd just wiggle it out. Floor light would be nice, but you make do with what you got. So easy. Am I right, guys? It's gonna be so easy. We'll be done in 5 minutes. That is holding the steering column to the steering rack. But I don't have that bit. So literally everything completely disconnected. That's where the power steering reservoir used to be, and then those cable or the lines went down that way. But I cannot finish tonight. I have all the parts out, enough to make a list and order new stuff. So that's gonna wrap day 1. I'd say, you know, largely successful. From a YouTube standpoint, I'd say I would have liked to have talked about not car stuff more and had the car stuff be more of a background thing. Just ignore all that. But you know, we'll work towards that. We'll get there. Wait, look how green my eyes look before it defocuses. So yeah, sorry, I look over at I have a display on the side of the camera. Oh, actually I can show you what you look like. This is what you guys look like to me. Oh, you're backlit. So you're like a little screen, and I tend to look at the screen and not the camera. So that's why my eyes are often off to the side. After a lot of wiggling, this is the tunnel that the steering rack left behind. A big part of why I started doing chapter 3 was a Doug video that I watched. And she'll be all like, yeah, and control arms, so a little less floppy. Don't want to be too floppy. A little floppy? Good. Too much floppy? Not good. It's like 2 weeks later. Carol got me a new light. It can do, hold on. It can do this. So that'll be really helpful. I used to bought the wrong flour for his pasta, so he made me some bread, which is basically chocolate cake. So, I mean, even when you gotta do something on your own, you're not really doing it by yourself. Or when you gotta do something by yourself, you're not really doing it on your own. So that's kind of nice. That would have made a great lesson for the video, and I sort of got part of the way there, but then I got distracted talking about completely different stuff to the camera, which again is why. That's not a perfect measure, but in general you want your suspension to be tight. So this is the old one, and this is the new one. Oh, it still did the thing. Okay, we're gonna cut that. Never mind, cut. So here's the reinstall of the steering wheel. Wait, why isn't this muted? And even if I do spin it that way, then it's stuck on the outside. Okay, I'll just toss it. It's gotta spin in between this way. When he's not there. Maybe I'll just wait for the most quiet part. She spun. Okay. I think we're in. Oh yeah, we're totally in. Nobody ever expects the steering rack in position. Okay, so that is the difference between the all-wheel drive and the two-wheel drive, is that the two-wheel drive, this piece isn't here and you can just pull the thing out. In the all-wheel drive, you can do it without taking any of the hard lines off. You just have to spin it. You do like a back half spin and then rotate it back up inside of the whatever this mount is. I don't know what that is. Sway bar? And that way you can get it. It is tight, but it is possible. And now my brand new piece is all dirty because I got gunk on me and then I got it on it. Okay. Well, there you go. Howdy do.
Alright, the mic wasn't plugged in for this part, so there's no audio, so it can't interrupt me anymore. I'm just talking about banjo bolts here. They're pretty cool, but you can just Google them if you want to learn more. So, moving forward with Chapter 3 videos. Oh wait, okay, this part's kind of funny. So, I didn't have a wrench that was big enough for the banjo bolt, so I had to modify this one to fit just to get them off. But Lucas very kindly bought me a 22mm combo wrench, so I won't have to use tape wrench next time. And don't get me wrong, I'm not ashamed of the skits or the songs. I just think that they're okay, and I want to make things that are great for Chapter 3. And the place I think I can do that is with small projects, life lessons, and longer videos. I'm going to keep the vlogs though. I really enjoy making them, and I do think that they come out great month by month. Oh right, so then I had to go to Derek's place. The bushings that I bought were just the bushings. They weren't pressed into the brackets, which again is only for the all-wheel drive. For the two-wheel drive, you can buy bushings in brackets. So we ended up having to cut the old bushings out and then press new bushings in, which ended up being like a 6-hour detour. But goofing off with Derek made the time go by way faster.
Control arm is back in place. The tie rod is reattached. Steering rack's in there. The new reservoir and all the lines and everything are done. So all we need to do, I'm gonna have to look up the procedure because there's probably like a fill it up and then turn the wheel all the way one way and then fill it and then turn it and stuff. So look up if there's a best practices procedure for filling it. Pop the wheels back on. Someone's gotta clean all this up, so we'll see how that goes. And then we're done. Oh no, and then we get an alignment.
I wanted a shot of test driving the car, but we test drove it in the neighborhood and you can see all of the addresses, so this ended up being unusable. I just wanted to include it so you could know that the car drives fine, steering is tight.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Utes all aligned, cleaned up, everything's good. I did it. Ended up getting some help throughout the way, but you know, I don't think anyone does anything truly on their own. As for the video, I bet the audio is gonna be just nonsense throughout this thing. Called The 50s Kid, whom I adore. No parts out. And I forgot to plug the mics in. But we'll see. I don't know. It's gonna be scuffed. But this is the plan. This is Chapter 3. We're gonna make stuff like this, but like better. But we gotta make a bad one first, obviously. I'm not gonna be great at it immediately, unless I was. This is the end. I don't know, I haven't edited it yet. No, but I think it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna take practice and feedback. So if there were parts you liked or didn't like about this, let me know. I'm around. I'm open to criticism. I'm gonna cry about it no matter what you say, so like, don't worry about that. For future videos in Chapter 3, I would like there to be sort of more of like a story, like a beginning to end. Which way is for you? Don't worry about it. Definitely having it be a little bit more like a story and less just a video. That's what I'm gonna aim for, like a story. Maybe not necessarily a story, but like a story. Don't watch my movie. It's all about this, but it's so long. We'll get there. Oh, my little clown hairs are doing their little clown hair thing. That's fun. Doot, 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 doot.